Okay, we're starting a new one, a rose garden tea house. And for the first time, we're going to open the box and we're going to do just a little bit of furniture. Try it out. I'm going to give full disclosure. I started this a long time ago. This was like a year ago. So, that's when I opened this one. It was probably last spring? Yeah, and then you'll see I got a little frustrated. It's one of those like, I am not feeling this one. But now I am. It's very cute. It's another little garden house. And I was worried. It was a lot of plants. But that's the least of our worries. Actually, once I open this up, most of the plants are already pre-made. So, whew, that's nice. Not that I'm against making plants, but this one's a little different. This one I got overseas. And I thought, why not? Let's give it a try. And I was like, oh, the couch is already made. A lot of stuff is made, and it's labeled a little differently. So, but since we're experts now, right? Tried and true, we could figure this out. No problem. Foreign language and all. What's funny watching this footage, this is old footage, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's where I got those tweezers and that ruler from. Oh. There's a lot of little bags in this kit, just tons of pieces, and that right there is a music box. So that's kind of cool. When you get kits, they leave the holes for them usually, you'll notice, and sometimes you get a music box, sometimes you don't, but this time we got one. Opening the instruction book, it actually isn't that bad. Beautiful pictures, pretty straightforward from what I can tell. And what's interesting is the wallpapers and things are all in the back of the book. See, like this? So normally those are separate sheets in our Row Lifes and Mayberry Streets and things like that. But this one, it's all connected in one place, which is kind of nice because then I don't lose them. And it is in English, so. Now, this kit did not come with glue, which is fine. What I'm going to probably end up using is my Eileen's Tacky Glue, the Fast Dry Fax Tack glue, great glue. And then I have some leftover of the alcohol glue, basically like super glue kind of stuff, just more jelly. And I always read that first page to see if there's anything that I need to know, and we can keep on going. Sometimes the hardest part on these is to figure out where to start. Now, way back when, I did do some of the main floors. I started it, but I did not finish it, so you can tell this is a different time, different nails. So I decided, you know what? I think I'm going to dip my toes in this. I'm going to do this little side table, and I'm going to do the couch and the little tea table. We'll see how this goes. Sometimes you have to fall back in love with the kit. So, you start it, you set it aside, and you keep looking at it like, I don't know. But just dive in, start, and then you should be fine. It's one of those things you just gotta start and do little spurts, and it's not so bad. Don't look at the whole picture, just look at little tiny pieces at a time, and that's what we're gonna do. One thing I did notice that's different is their bags. Normally we get, we're used to the A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, or however they number it. These are very different and very vague. So I am going to go by, and it's in the front of this book. Again, everything is in the book. So it's all put together, don't have to lose it. You already have the instructions in front of you, so you don't have to search for the other parts. And it helps a lot. I do reference those, you know, what's in bag A, what's in bag B, or it'll be A33442. It's really weirdly labeled. For this kit, and probably one reason I set it aside to give myself a brain break, it's got a lot, I mean a lot of little tiny pieces. Now, if you watch the wizard house, the magic house, with all the little potions and things like that, that was nothing. This has got, 10 times more tiny little pieces, little tins of tea, little cakes, little boxes. So take your time. If you're going to do this and you're up for a challenge, which I was like, I'm going to challenge myself. No more easy, right? Just take your time, do one piece at a time. You're going to get mad and frustrated, but I did it. No problem. First, we're going to build the little side table. That's what they call it. And the instructions are pretty clear. So we're just going to build it like any other shelf that we ever do. And we're going to do it in the order that they say. While that's drying, we're going to build the drawer. It's two of these little U-shaped pieces. It took me a second. You really have to stare at the instructions, but it does show. Stick two pieces of this together to make the height of the drawer. And then there's this piece of paper that is the bottom of the drawer. Next, we're going to put the front on. Just make sure you got the little beveled end on the outside. It'll make sense once you put it together. Now for the drawer handle, they want you to take this bead and cut it in half. So it's kind of a drawer pull. And just be very careful. I have a reasonably sharp knife. It's not going to be perfect in half. In fact, I had to switch out to the sharper knife. I have a bunch of knives, and some are different levels of sharpness. There's one that I use just for clay because I know it's dull. And there's one that I was like, oh, that's the deadly one. And you'll have your favorite knives. And you're just gonna glue it right onto the front there. There's a reason they give you tweezers. This is just the first of many teeny tiny things. Next, we're going to make this little shelf. It's full of little tea things. I forgot the word. Tea bag. You know, when you get the individual packs of tea. So we're getting a good taste of what's to come. It's not too bad. Like I said, just take your time. You'll get it. It has this clear plastic cover, and I cut it roughly to size. I oversized it on purpose so that I can trim it down. I just glue it down, let it dry, and then trim it. It's like a display case, I guess. And here's all your different little tees. You just got to cut those out and fold them in half. Pretty easy. They're just small. Once you have all your little tea bags done, you just put them in the little holes there. Sometimes when you do these a long time ago, it's hard to remember what you were doing. This is, I'm going to make a cake stand. So I have decided on this kit, I am going to use the templates. Usually I'm kind of a rebel and I don't use the templates very much, but I'm feeling like we're going to need to. For the stand, you're going to need a piece of, they provide you with a white piece of cardboard. So that's going to be your stiff part. And then you're going to cut a silver size, so it looks like a silver platter kind of thing. And then I'll show you the tricky part. Okay, this time I didn't use the pattern, but you're going to use this piece and you're just going to cut a long skinny strip. Because that's going to go all the way around the edge of your plate. Kind of make it look like it's got a ridge all the way around. It's going to be tiny. Just get the best you can. Once you got your skinny little strip, you just glue it all the way around the edge. And then you got a pie plate kind of thing. Now you're going to make the stand part. When I do these, and we've done several different versions of this, you have to stack two little tiny pieces on top of each other and then a big thing on top. I would recommend letting it dry in between each stage. Otherwise, you're just going to get mad. Or what I could do is build this upside down. So flip the pie plate upside down, put the little piece and then the big piece on top. Whatever you're more comfortable with. And yep, looks like I decided I'm going to build this upside down. So put your, actually this works out a little easier because you can kind of center it better. So I'm going to put the little rivet on there and then stack the other one on top of that and let it dry. All right, now we're going to do, it looks like, it doesn't really say what it is, but they look like a bunch of hat boxes, basically. Little packages. They're very pretty when they're done. So what you're going to do, this is a little tricky. Well, I'm going to say that forever. But you're just making a tube, and you're going to put a bottom and a top on it. And when you wind these, you're going to notice that there's a lot of white. I think they're doubling it out for a reason, just to make it thicker. So you just go until it's just the black polka dots that show. This is one where I would highly recommend some sort of clamping device. I got my itty bitty little clothespins, and they come in very handy for something like this. And you're going to make a bunch of these. You're going to make 1, 2, about 3 of them. So might as well do them all at once, right? And you're just going to put the little lids on them. Should fit on there. You would think the funny oval shape would be difficult, but it wasn't. You just kind of had to squish it a little bit to the shape. In worst case, if your tops and bottoms don't fit, you can always trim it down too. Now once those are pretty dry, we're going to make bands. So there's going to be a bunch of gold bands that go around them to make them fancy and look a lot more finished. It just tells you the width of your little bands. Just eyeball it. Try to make them as even as possible. And you're going to do a bunch of these bands. So might as well cut a few strips. They give you more than enough material on some of these sheets of gold and things. And you're just going to wrap them around. For the cylinder one, it's going to be on the top and the bottom. And for the oval ones, it's just along the top to kind of look like a lid, I guess. So the little cylinder one, the single one, has kind of a, it's like a handle. So it's just a loop. You just glue the two pieces together, or one piece together into one little loop. Might be handy to do this in a long strip and then just trim it down to size. and then just glue it to the top. I'm finding the prettiest side that I want to look forward, and just like that. And it also has a little label, and that little piece is done. Now the two oval ones are stacked on top of each other, and then they're wrapped. They got a band around them with the gold strapping thing. This one has a label too. It goes over the band, just like that. If the white that shows on your hat boxes really bugs you, you could go over that with a Sharpie. It would look finished. All right, I'm going to show you how to make a teeny tiny little bow. So you take your piece and you're just going to crisscross it. Like you'll drop it a few times. It's very, and this is one that I think I would probably leave long just to save your sanity. But you crisscross it and then you squish it in the middle and you got a bow. Put a dab of glue in the very middle there, and there you go. See? A bow. And then we're going to just stick it on the top there. Ta-da! And don't worry about globby glue. As long as you pick a glue that's dries clear, you're good. Okay, let's put it all together. Ta-da! Not bad. It is satisfying when you do something a little more challenging and you're done and you're like, ah. And this is pretty much where I stopped and took 6 months off. And now we're back to present time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the little table. When I group these videos together, I always try to think of what things kind of in the same family. So I decided I'm going to do that basically in the front of the tea house. There's a chair and a table and then the little tea thing that I already made. So we'll go with that. And the table is pretty easy. You just put this little, the two pieces together. Make sure they're level because at least mine did. It slid all the way through. So just kind of level it out and let it dry. And then I'm going to stick it kind of as in the middle as I possibly can, the tabletop, and I'm going to set that aside. While that's drying, we got to make some tablecloths here. And again, I am going to be using the templates. Usually I kind of willy-nilly it, but I think I'm working on being more precise. So I'm going to cut out the template and then we'll cut the circle out. And there's another tablecloth that goes over the top of it. It's square, and it gives you a measurement of 7 by 7 centimeters. So just cut it to size, and then I fringed it just a little bit. And to fringe it, it means you just pull the threads out, a few of them, so it has a little fringy at the ends. And there's one more, maybe like a napkin or a tea towel kind of thing. And you're just going to cut that 3 by 3. To make a tablecloth so it looks like it's ruffly and has some weight to it, don't glue it on the top, glue it on the edges. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of just put your table right in the middle, put the glue on the sides, and then with your fingers you're going to glue it so that it kind of has a pleat, I guess, a very loose pleat, not an ironed one. So I did it side to side, and then I did middle, you know, just tried to make it a little even. Try to hold the shape there. I did use my little clothespins here to help me out. Now one thing I did do is I left these clothespins on too long. One tip for you, if you leave your clothespins on the glue, you're gonna have the clothespins glued to your table. So it's just there just enough to tack it down, but don't let it completely dry. And here you're going to see what I mean because I glued it on a little bit. So I did have to pull because you don't want the tablecloth tucked under. So I did have to pull it up a little bit. I must have had some glue underneath. But that's okay. Just floof it up. Once you get it looking how you kind of want it, now we're going to glue the square piece. And I'm just going to put some glue all the way around the edges and then just kind of plop it on there as center as possible and try to glue it to the ruffles so it looks like it's all one piece. For the little tea towel, what I did is I just kind of smushed it up. You got to give it some depth here. Just smush it up so it's a little more floppy. Because you want it to look like you just laid it on the table. So I wrinkled it up and then glued it down. And tried to glue it in the most natural looking way possible. Alright, next we're going to make this little stand. I don't know if you've seen when you do high tea or tea time or anything, there's a kind of like a cake stand. It's usually 2 or 3 levels, and they put all the little finger sandwiches and little cakes and things like that, and they're all very, very delicious. I just came back from Canada, and we didn't do high tea, but we definitely could have. I love those finger sandwiches. Yum, 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 yum. But this is pretty basic. We're going to do the little crossbeam. This time it doesn't go, well, for me, it wasn't completely flat, so just kind of try to make it as level and straight as possible. I had to prop it up a little bit while it dried. While that's drying, we're going to make the little plates that go on each level. So they have these templates. You only need one. And you're going to make 3 gold plates that go on the wooden pieces. Now these plates have a little detail where they have little holes all the way around the edges. You don't have to do it. I decided to. Just get yourself a little needle. Do not poke your hand. I can proudly say that I did not poke my hand. You're just going to poke holes in even intervals all the way around. Whatever design you decide, just make them all the same. Once you get all your holes done, however you want to do it, you just glue it to each of the wooden pieces. Now I thought it would be easier if I just left the little plates here on the side and filled them with the food and then put them on. Hindsight, I don't think it would have mattered. I could have put the plates on there and it would have been the same thing. They're very tight in there. I did not know that at this time. But so I decided I'm going to leave this separate, glue the food on, and then put it on my stand. As for the food, you're going to have like a little eclair, a little macaroon, and then a couple little cake things. We're not sure what they are, but I'm sure they're tasty. Little finger sandwich. Luckily, we don't have to make a lot of it, but we do need to do a little bit of decorating. For example, this little Twinkie looking thing. You're just going to put a little label on it. Then you're going to cut this tube down. You're not going to use the whole thing, but you're just going to cut a chunk off of it, about a 1.1 centimeters, and then at an angle, you're going to cut it in half. It's like a rolled up sandwich kind of thing. Cucumber roll, I think is what they call it, or something. There's 2 different sheets of gold. There's one that's really shiny right here that we're going to use, and then there's one that's kind of a matte finish, which we used on our plates. So just keep in mind which is which. If you mix them up, no biggie. But I think this is just the effect of, you know, when they put some gold leaf on top of the little donut or whatever. So you're going to cut a itty bitty little square, and you're going to put it on top of our little chocolate donut thing. And that one gets a little label. It probably says, you know, what it is or something like that. And then you have this yellow rolled up clay. It looks like lemon slices. What you're going to do is take your round bead and you're going to slice some lemons, basically. Now, I looked a little bit ahead. You're going to need a couple slices for your teacup, so I cut them all at once. Here, get my sharp knife and start chopping. This is my extra sharp knife. This little guy, you're just going to set it up on top of the lemon and then put some gold on top. We're very fancy. And then there's one that's white. I'm not sure what it would be, but you get your little white bead, put the lemon slice on top, and this one gets a red little dollop on top. The macaroon, it gets a little label and it has like a little green leaf that you just cut from one of your green pieces of paper. And then I just glued them onto my plates. And now I'm going to put it on my plate stand. You could do this either way. It does fit pretty tight in there. And it kind of only fits one way with the little wiggles. Just gotta jam them in there. And with a little bit of fixing, there you go. Very cute. Alright, we got a couple more things for our table. So we got these cute little teacups, which we could totally leave alone if we wanted to, but no. We got some lemon slices, a little teapot, and there's this orange, it's like see-through plastic paper. And basically we're going to make little circles that go inside the teacup so it looks like there's tea in there. So just cut little circles, put it in there, and then you're going to put your lemon slice on top. You thought we'd ever get away from books? Oh, no. These are the accordion fold books, so if you've done a few of Kit's, you've done these at least a bajillion times. So we're just going to cut it out, pre-score it very lightly to help us out, and then fold them up. going to put glue in between all these little pages. They do want them to be flat, so I did end up putting some glue on the other side too, so that they would lay flat and not poof up on me. Next we have a little floral arrangement, and we just got some funky little pieces that we're going to use. So a little piece of that, a little piece of that, and a little piece of that. The pink foamy piece, we just need a tiny little piece. So we'll just cut a piece of that. And I'm just trimming a couple leaves off the bottom of this just so that I can put it in my vase. And then you just put it all together. Okay, let's set the table. Adorable. Now I want tiny little sandwiches and donuts. No, really, I want some. All right, now we're gonna do the little couch, or they call it the rattan chair. And what we're gonna do is make a cushion for the bottom and a pillow. So this pretty pink, shiny material, we're gonna make a little pillow. So you're gonna cut it to size. They do give you 5.8 by 3.4, and that is in centimeters. All our kits, whether it's from the US, from Japan, from China, it is always in centimeters. It's in metric. It's easy. It's not that hard. It's just the other side of the ruler, right? So once we got to size, make sure it's shiny side out, pretty side out. And then we're just going to kind of do a little fold. So fold one side. We're going to put some glue down that line and then fold it over. And you should end up with a little tube, kind of like that. And then on the ends, they want you to fold it in just a little bit, just to make it nice and neat and tidy. You could probably skip this part and just glue it as is. I did my best. I think it turned out pretty good at the end. It's just a little fiddly. And then glue that shut. Just the one end. I'm going to let the pillow dry, so in the meantime I'm going to make the cushion for the couch, and it's a few layers. So I'm going to cut my patterns out because I'm going to need it for there's a cardboard piece, there's 2 layers of the batting, the flat sheet batting, and then one that's the material on top. Now I just cut, they give you enough patterns for every single piece. I just cut the one for the cardboard, and then I just glued the batting directly onto that and cut it out. For me, that was easier. And here I'm just testing it because, you know, you would hate to build this whole thing and it doesn't even fit. So I'm just cutting it down so that it fits comfortably into that little slot that they have for the cushion. once you got it to size. And I'm just gonna cover it with the little stripey material. Again, I highly recommend getting you a bag of these little clothespins. Just go to the dollar store, get a bag of them. Then you don't care if they get glued up and broken and all that. But oh boy, are they handy, especially for things like this. And also, don't let the glue 100% dry with the clothespins on, because they will stick on there because the glue seeps through the material and it just glues right to your little clothespin. After we let it dry pretty much, you can see they get stuck a little bit there. And there we go. And now let's just glue it onto the chair. They also have a little throw blanket, so we're just going to cut it to the size that they want it. And we're just going to kind of drape it over as natural looking as possible. One thing about, making things small, it's hard to mimic weight. Like a normal blanket, you could just bloop, and it's got enough weight that it would sag in the proper places. When it's small like this, it's lighter. So you kind of have to force it by glue and, putting it into place. Otherwise, it's just like, it'll lay absolutely flat on there and look weird. And we're just going to finish up our pillow here. Just jam a bunch of batting in there, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other end. Fold it over and glue it. Little floofing, and there we go. You got yourself a comfy little chair to have your tea and cakes. All right, we started a new kit. Yay! It's been a little while, huh? Sometimes it takes a minute to get back into the groove, but I think I had a nice little mini vacation with my family, and we played with the dollhouse, but now we're back to business. We got a lot of kits to do, and this is number 1. I'm determined to finish this one. And looking ahead, we got some very intricate things to do. So let's psych ourselves up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss all the excitement ahead. Woo! And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!